when I think about a special moment that really reminded me of why I do foster care and why it is so important, I think about a moment with one of my sons that we fostered. And when we picked him up from the hospital, he was 3 months old, and he had been in the hospital since he was born, going through withdrawals of multiple drugs. And when we went to pick him up from the hospital, the nurses had warned my husband and I that another foster family had already been there and had spent the night with him and had decided that they couldn't do it and change their mind. And so they just wanted to let us know that this was a very difficult baby, that he cried all the time. His muscles were very stiff. You couldn't really console him. He was just he was going to be a very challenging baby, a very challenging child. And my husband and I just looked at each other and we were like, we can do it. We were very naive, right? But we were just determined that we could do it. We were going to love this baby and take him home and just figure it out. And so we did. And we luckily, though, thankfully, we had a lot of support through CYFD, and the CYFD helped get us connections with Mecca and all the different therapies that this baby needed. So this baby got massage therapy, which I didn't even know was a thing. So massage therapy for the baby, speech therapy. I mean, he was 3 months old, but he got speech therapy and OT and like occupational therapy, physical therapy, all these therapies that came into my home and worked with me and this baby. And we worked with him for months, and the nurses weren't lying. He was a very, very hard baby. It was very hard. He and I cried a lot. And I remember because he had been in the hospital for 3 months, right? So he had never been outside. So to go outside, like to pick up my other children from the school bus, just this tiny little walk around the corner, he would scream and scream and scream like bloody murder because of the sunlight and the wind or anything touching his skin. Like, I was like, it's beautiful outside, but this baby was like, take me inside, I hate it. And there were months where I just didn't think anything was gonna get better, and I just felt like this poor baby, what if he couldn't walk? What if he couldn't talk? What if this was his life? And then after several months of continued therapy, he was able to start meeting his milestones. And then by the time he was 1, I mean, being outside was his favorite thing. I then remember, that like the sun and being outside literally was his favorite thing. And then for me to notice that this baby who couldn't stand the sun or being outside, now to be outside and to run and play, to see this kid run and play, people would have no idea what he went through, because he plays soccer now like he was a born athlete, and climbs the tree and scares you to death by his athleticism and just wants to be outside in the sun all the time. And I just think it's a miracle